everybody, today I'm making a guide for trap creatures and bioweapon spawns. These are more towards the traps and creature spawns, as certain bioweapons differentiate certain spawns as they are too big or they're too small for certain spawns. But this is a guide for the map downtown, and I'm going to show you all the spots I know, and if you feel free to let me know if you find any other spots that can help every other mastermind and show survivors what cameras to look out for. We all know there's certain cameras in downtown that is just impossible to catch survivors, as there's so many spots that survivors can hide from and not get seen, as downtown there's just a camera in spots that every survivor knows. So we're gonna go into the map now, and this is going to help a lot for Trap Alex, Daniel, Annette, Spencer, and a little bit of Nikolai if you do more of a creature deck. But other than that, this is going to help a lot with other builds that need sneakier ways and trying to find a way around Jan, as Jan can just destroy every camera, especially if you're doing biocores, because a lot of biocore rooms have one or two, as in downtown there's multiple cameras to get multiple ways on survivors. As this loads, I'm going to open some doors and show you certain areas to
My whole
find out.
life has been a prelude to the knowledge that I gained today.
So the parking lot is pretty much simple. You know Jan's gonna destroy your camera. Your setup is always going to be noticeable. There's no other way. You always have to find a way to be sneaky, come last minute, but Jan could just shoot you down right over here. She's going to find a way. Doesn't matter. So we're going to spawn some traps so I could get a creature in my red queen.
There's no escape.
Now for camera 1, this does not only support the parking lot, but it could also help area camera 2. Alright, so what you could do is that you can put traps right near that little shelf. When you place it right here, it places it right near the door. So if any other survivor is trying to speed run and you don't have enough time and you just want to keep crowd control, this is a good way, because Jan could also come in here and destroy your camera, and they won't know that you're on camera 1 unless they close this door and they know what you're doing. Because when they close this door, you cannot spawn anything else.
Unlike you, with this strength, your
And then for
fate
camera
is
2, it's
sealed.
really simple. There's really nothing you can do about this camera. It only really benefits this room. You can't spawn any traps past the door either, so it really sucks. You could do a little something out here. They're running away, but Jen will probably stick around, destroy camera 3 and destroy 2 in less than 5 seconds, so you really can't do much. So this area is just pretty much for if you want to do amplify Alex, beef up this room, because traps and guns really aren't gonna help, because it's in a corner and they can snipe you. So good luck on that. So for camera 3, you can only do a small corner. It's really not much of a great camera angle. I mean, yes, it can help you do setups here, but other than that, if you set up an airburst trap, and you could do an air cannon back to shoot them forward to get more bioenergy, so they'll go back and they have a little resetted stun, and then you could do another airburst, keep the flow going. Other than that, it
I only put this
could reach only up to, yeah, it doesn't really do that much. So it only comes up to around here. So it's pretty much of a useless camera angle, only focusing on this door. But for what it could do is that it could reach midway around the door over here. So if they blast out 5, you could use 4 to be a little bit quicker, because if they know that you're doing guns or trap Alex, they're gonna shoot 5 out, but they won't usually shoot 4 out because they're already to this spot. It will reach to the door, and it reaches any other trap can reach. And then this could reach into the reception office midway. So if you do it too far, you won't be able to set it off. So you could do that, set it off if anything happens. So if they shoot 3, because when you usually set up for 3, Jan is gonna be ready to instant that camera when Tyrone or any other survivor bashes that door. So your setup is completely useless. So use 4 to your advantage, have Jan destroy 3 and go straight to 4 and keep the pressure going. So then we're gonna go to 5. 5 is a special one. I use this a lot, and this gets me a lot of Area 1 downtown wins, solely because this reaches all the way to the vending machine over here, and you can control creatures as well. So we're gonna show that. So landmines, you could detonate creatures, you could get up right over here.
The relief, the soaring ecstasy.
And you could set traps right near the gate, and they could all set off. So if they destroy 6, you have 5. I also find 6 very useless, as it does not reach for traps. It doesn't really help you be able to set it because you can't. You're gonna have to use the D-pad to set it off manually, so you could like click on it. But other than that, that's what 5 is usually good for. It could do the hallway, of course. It could go near the case, the desk. That 3 can't do for some reason, because with 3 this is blocking it. But other than that, it doesn't reach far from here. So if they take out 6, you could use 5 to hit them at the bathroom and the exit gate. This is very good if you have an airburst, shock trap, and any other high damaging trap. So if it's a good combo with shock trap, airburst, high explosive, you're probably guaranteeing almost like knockout once you set that up because of the energy gain, and you could just do a finishing blow to one of the survivors and then use an ultimate, something like that, to stop you. But that's good. That's a very good thing, because in the next area they won't be able to use that fever the few like couple minutes when they meet Yorick. So be aware of that. And then goes for 7. 7's pretty much basic as well. You're not going to get as much in here as whenever a survivor breaks the door, Jan's going to get out, or smart teams. You can spawn out of it, but you're not going to get much of it.
The relief, the soaring ecstasy of shedding another's blood.
Alright, so for 7, you can't do much, as I said. It really would have been cool if you kind of set it off, but that would be broken. So yeah, you can only do around this outer area, but other than that, 7's just basic as well. And then goes for 8. You can only spawn in here, and you can only spawn like, it's very picky when you're trying to set traps off.
Aren't our eyes made to be torn out, and hearts for the same purpose?
So when this door is open, all you could do is spawn right here. So there's really nothing cool about it. Other than that, this is pretty much area 1. There's only 8 cameras, and you gotta find ways to go around the survivors and Jan. So now we're gonna go to area 2, where things get a little bit more better with triple landmine.
Your freedom will not be so easy to earn. I'm saving our most interesting scenarios for later. Initiating the next test phase.
This is the starting camera. This camera used to be okay during the days of the force field not being there, but this camera is still useless as they'll blow it out right away. And if you are a Jan player, you could shoot out 10. So if you're a Nikolai player sending off a turret, be aware that Jan can shoot from the safe zone and shoot 10 out. So be aware of that. And if you're doing any setups, stay away from 10, because 10 is also a very good camera for 11 and 12. So for 9, we're going to show the little secret spot. It's pretty much what this camera is only used for anyways. So what you could do is you focus all the way to the left, and then where the terminal is, you could set traps here. But there's a distance to it, so you got to be aware of that as well, because If you're putting it too close, it would not set off. So this is where it gets set off. It could reach for the shock trap, but I highly doubt. The only traps that can set off is triple landmine, high explosive, and sometimes air burst. The reason why I'm saying triple landmine, because you could extend it farther to the terminal. Trying to get an angle. As you can see, it's very difficult. So if you're trying to do a setup, trying to be fancy, try your best not to mess up. Alright, so that's how you usually set it up. It's one landmine's only gonna hit them off, but using Lucas special, you're probably gonna get like half at energy back, but it's all worth it because you spent only 2 bio energy and you could still keep going. Because in SWAT teams or pre-mates, they're going to shoot 11 and 12 out, and you could use this as a last resort. But if you get a really bad hand, if you have weapons or non-reachable traps, it's not going to work. But what you can do is set it up, set the trap here, go quickly to 12 and set it off. If you know they're going to snipe it off real quick. Other than that, 9 isn't that special either, but it could help for clutch moments if they take 11 and 12 out. And then for 10, what 10 is good for is also spawning stuff. It cannot reach 9, it cannot reach 12, but what it can do is reach all the way over here to 11. So we're gonna put that over here.
Fly, my pretties, fly!
Alright, so when you have 10, make sure you stay away from it and see them walking away. You're gonna, once they touch that door, especially if there's no Tyrone, this is also a huge benefit, because if you lock that door to level 2 or level 3, they're gonna be struggling unless there's a master key Jill or shoulder pads. So over here, it's gonna spawn right near the door. Any trap will reach no matter what. So that's with that. Other than that, this terminal is also very bad. I consider it terrible. Even though you have 11, SWATs will also destroy this camera, because 9 cannot reach 10 at all. Even though how annoying this camera is for 12. Yeah, you can't place anything here. There's no sneaky stuff you can't place right through the thing. So 10 and 11's okay, but teams will usually, a jam will wait here and a regular 2 people will wait here and defend your camera. So we're gonna go to 13. This is also a basic room. This is probably the worst room to get York, as traps and creatures are horrible, because you can rarely spawn traps in front of the door, so you gotta like push forward. But if you push forward around here, you can't place traps right, and you gotta go around the corner. So over here, and then traps cannot be placed anywhere on this corner unless if it's this side. But it's pretty bad, this room. No, you can spawn out the veil here, which makes no sense. But anyways, this camera's basic. Creatures and traps are kind of hard to spawn when in intense moments. So good luck on this one for the storage 201. So we're gonna go to storage 202.
In the efficacy of the virus. How do you feel?
This is also a basic room, but when this door is open, you could spawn a little bit out of the room. You could spawn right behind the little lockers around here in the storage and set it off. So this is an okay room for York, but don't count on it because this room could also get blasted by Jan. Alright, so we're gonna go to 15 now. 15 is also very weird and wonky, because this little thing gets in the way from setting traps far away. So you can only set from here to here. Alright, in this area. Guns is also really bad. If you're having a gun deck, good luck, because it's gonna get blasted because Jan and every other survivor could hide here, and Jen can instant lock it, and malware it. Other than that, this is also a basic area. Tips: if you have veal and you put it on a perfect spot, the trap can actually be hidden. So as you can see, I placed it wrong and it could float. So be aware of that. You could spawn certain traps on the zombies and it wouldn't appear if you're sneaky about it. So yeah, look how bad that is. Anyways, we're gonna go to 16. This is a pretty good camera for certain setups, but this is only if they destroy 19 and 20. We're gonna go to 16.
I will crush you.
We're gonna open this door. This is also a very tricky spot. You can spawn creatures perfectly fine in here, but for some reason traps are also very difficult. So be aware of that. And then for traps, you can't go past through the wall here at all. So you could spawn behind the walls and set traps off if they're like running or something. So do a little roadblock for traps. It'll reach, so cut it off. Just sneak the trap in and then set it off for an airburst and make them stop. So as you can see, 16 is pretty much also a basic camera. It has to move to hit 2 areas, which is pretty difficult. But we're gonna have to get the triple landmine.
I only put this here to give you false hope. Fear can blind you.
Alright, so with triple landmine, it's very tricky, very difficult, but what you can do, it also reaches. I have tested it. So if you put the trap slanted at any way, like that, just put it a little like that, it will reach the terminal. You need triple landmine to work, because if you put it too far, you cannot set it off. So if you put it like that, it's not going to set off. You could use a trap to set them all off, but airburst can reach. Creatures can reach. But we're going to show how it works. So you slant it and make sure it's a little bit out where the line is, because you can only set one off, but it could also reach it no matter what. So that's the only use for triple landmining here, as far as I know, for 9 and 16. That's how triple landmine will kind of hit them off certain terminals, but other than that, that's pretty much it for 16. We're gonna go to 17. It is also a very, very bad camera, because sometimes it's really wonky to set traps off in here, and if you're trying to like focus on survivors trying to get away, Jan will shoot you out, because if you're trying to move really quick, they're gonna hit the door already, and you can't place anything around here because the door has a little space thing where you can't place them right near the door. So good luck on that. Then we're gonna go to 18. Yet another basic camera. It's only gonna focus in here. When the door is open, you could set off some traps out, but you really don't have much of a benefit here. But we're gonna go to 19. So what 19 can do is set traps or put traps over here. So if you put it over there, it's not going to reach the gate, but airburst will work. You could set creatures. You could set Yacht Veil if you want to do anything special, but I highly doubt it when they could run off. That's what pretty much 19 can do. You could put traps here if they destroy 20. Say if there's like a person taunting or do something like that. You know what? Just set it off on them. Set it off. Punish them. But here's a special thing about 20. I know I'm not talking about yet the veil placements, but that'll be a different video. So with 19, sit, you have to veil right here as a roadblock. If I could place it right, if you put it in a right spot, you could definitely stop them from walking. Look, I'm struggling putting this little plant guy. I usually put it right, yeah. So place it right here.
Witness our latest bio.
They can't walk past it unless they kill it. So you're probably thinking, what can I do? So here's the thing that sucks. You could put some traps here, but they're gonna blast out your camera from 19 and 16 if they know what they're doing. But you could use 20, and you could set it off out in the hallway.
I never intended you to get this.
And you can hit the little thing over there. So if they're also being annoying and Becca using her fever, she's standing right there, just set it off. Or you could use an airburst trap. Airburst, eat them up. So that's it for 20 as well. Nothing crazy about that. We're gonna move on to Area 3. Area 3 is pretty special in its camera angles. There's certain camera angles you think that can spawn traps, but let me tell you, there's certain camera angles that just spawn traps far away. You could set things off, and then there's camera angles where you're looking at something and you can't set it off. So for 21, this is probably a very good camera. Sadly, this one always gets blasted first, so usually try to, if you're doing setups, try not to use this camera angle. Try to use 26 because Jan will destroy it. Let them destroy this camera because you can't really do much with 26, as it can only do this core, this, and this area. So for 21, you could defend your biocore at 31. So you could place traps perfectly fine, especially triple landmines. Alright. Be aware, if this lift is up, sometimes setting off traps can be difficult, but you could still place things and put things up.
I will hunt and destroy you.
So if they destroy 31, 29, and 32, you have 21 to defend you. 28 is a very awful camera, so don't rely on it. So that's what 21 can do. 32 could do that as well. So we're going to move on to 22. And also a very underused camera, especially for guns, traps, and creatures of all builds. So what 21 can do is set traps off here. You could air cannon. And you can place creatures perfectly fine. Something about 21 which is really weird, this is just a goofy thing. You could set traps on the railing where 28 is, if I could get it right. As you can see, you see a little green. Let's put a different trap, it'll work probably better. So yeah, you can put it right on the railing, which makes no sense, and I'm pretty sure you could detonate it as well. So I guess if a person is destroying a destroying a core or stomping a core from here, you could place a trap here, but
how do you feel?
You have all these other cameras to help you out, so it's useless, but it's just something for a joke. So next is for 22, you could defend 24. You could set stuff off in the stairs over here. This thing is blocking it, so you can only do this way and up here. And you could set traps off around the stairs too. You can't set it off where this line is, but when you go past it a little bit, you could set stuff off. So if they're sniping or something like that,
You will not see your death
you
coming.
could do that. Then what 22 can do, you could defend the biocore from 25. Perfectly fine as well. You could place traps here. Just be aware that the little barricade right here could stop your flow of putting traps. So you could place traps. If this is down, you could set things off even better.
Aren't our eyes made to be torn out?
As the lift is
And
not covering it
hearts for
anymore.
the same purpose?
So if they shoot 24 and 25, you have 22 to help you out. And then after 22, you could do the stairs as well. So say if a Becca is shooting from the lift only, you could use that to get her off and shoot her off if she's on the left side sniping. So push her off, trap her at 26, put her at 26, another trap, and then just kill her pretty much. Take the time off them, let them get the core, then lift the put the lift, make sure the lift is up, and then
hope is part of the test.
destroy that Becca. After that, we're gonna go to 23. A very awkward camera. I dislike it when it comes to this core, as you can't set certain things off in certain angles. There's only 2 cameras you could really use this for your advantage. For 32 and 31. So you could set traps over here. You could place creatures over here at the core. And you could set them off from the core. And you cannot use guns. They will not reach. So we're going to put some traps here. Tyrone's going to go down from all these traps. So yeah. Oh, well look at that. It didn't want to set off for me. Alright, we gotta make sure this lift is down.
Interesting. I have a theory. Now do that again.
There you go. See? If the lift is down, you could set traps off. It's really weird. If you're the Jan knows you're using 25 to shoot your she shoots 31, 29, 25. You also have 23. But that's very sweaty of you if you ever use this camera, which I really don't either. It could also help with 32, like I said, over here.
Nothing.
So it's pretty neat. Other than that, 23 is pretty useless as well, as it can't hit them from the staircase as well. It sucks. It can hit them from midway in the 25, but it's also pretty bad. So if they're in the safe, buying stuff and goodies, you could set it off, but nothing crazy for 23. So then we're gonna go to 24. I enjoy 24 a lot as well. 24 can defend 25. 24 you can spawn traps at the biocore, set them off. What else? It could also cover all the way to 30, which is really weird. If I could get it. It's really weird. My bad, not 30, 31. I meant 30 over here. So save, jam, malware all your cameras, and all you have is the back camera. You could use 24 to defend your little front gate, but you cannot set traps off. Unless if you're having creatures, you can control it, but that's all you could do. Then for 24, you could defend 27. So if there's another, like I said, a Becca or something, you could spawn creatures.
I will crush you.
Other than that, nothing crazy either. It's only for like something sweaty. And then for 24, you could defend 25, like I said, but this will usually get blown out from Jan. So then we're gonna go to 26, and then what 26 can do is you could defend. Oh my bad. 25. We're gonna go to 25. So what 25 can do is you could defend 23 as well with your biocore. You could set traps off. It's very clunky, triple landmine can and can't work. Usually when it's a single trap, it'll actually set off better. If I could do it. Yeah, I take that back. So yeah, it's a little wonky. So you can't even spawn yet the Veil right. So then for 25, you could do 22 at the stairs. 22 at the stairs. Say somebody's sniping it from the stairs, you could shoot them off. Use the creatures and use traps.
I only put this here to give you false hope.
It could also help with 21. So say if they shoot 26 off and you can't do anything here, and they find out that you can't, they shoot that here and that here. You can use 25 to place some traps. Be aware, this little thing that's in the way will stop you from putting traps, which sucks.
Fear can blind you.
What else? It could do 30, but it's also really wonky because of the little pillar over here. But you can set traps off, which is nice. And then it could do 31. So it could also help with final gate, and you could set it off. So if you're being sweaty and want them to die, so be it. Use that. You could set traps off from here. You could, if they're just being taunty, they want to be all around, you could put traps here, creatures here, and all that. And I'm pretty sure air cannon can reach, but I haven't fully tested that. So that's pretty much for 25. 25 is a good camera for the little final exit. Then we're gonna go off to 26. 26 is pretty awful as well, in my opinion. You could set traps near the core for 25, but it's so close to 25, Jan would also blow it out. You could place traps at the bio core over here, but at certain angles, it'll stop working. Like this thing, the pillar. It's pretty awful, I hate it. It can help support 22, as in this camera angle over here. And it could also do 30. So if they destroy that one off, you got 30. You got 26 to help with 30. And then we're gonna go to 27. This is also a pretty basic camera. You could put traps right near the door, set them off. You could put traps if the gate is open up. I'm pretty sure you can't spawn any traps. It cannot. It doesn't go any farther. It does not go up to the stairs. It only got you with those angles. But you could use 27. To use that for the final exit.
I never intended you to get even with low expectations.
So that's what you could do with that.
Disappointed in you.
You could do a little bit at the stairs, but it's only around 2 steps. So that's what you can use for 27 for. Jam malware's 30, 29, 28, which is very common, especially those that use energy drink malware Jan. So be aware of that, because I use this build to help you with malware Jan as well. Because you have 25, 26, 27 for 30. Then 28, it's awful, it's terrible. You really can't do anything about it. You could spawn yacht, trap them, but they have so much room to get out of. And if you only trap one survivor, all 3 of them are gonna go up here and shoot the core. It's not good. You can't spawn things near the core at 31. You can't spawn things at behind the little lift. You could spawn things here, but it's very, very weird.
And so too my beautiful research.
I hate it. The camera angle's terrible. Getting this core is probably the worst, as even if you get this as a final core, it's probably the worst too, because the exit is right there. It's awful. I hate it. It can only do the stairs, not even, which makes no sense. Like, it just sucks so much. So then we're gonna go to 29. 29's okay. Say if Rebecca's sniping, anybody's sniping from this corner, you can set things off all the way from here. So screw Becca as usual, and then it could set things off at the stairs, but it cannot go past here. It could go right near the lift, but it's not that great either. So that's what 29 can do. Say if there's like, say if you're a gun Nikolai, which is 100% the case, and they want to hide from like a machine gun turret, you can use 29 to set traps off. Should work from here. There you go. Put like a trap or something, make them push forward. That's pretty much with 29. Nothing special with 29. And then 30 is also an okay camera, as it's very, very weird. You could set traps a little bit at 31, but it's also pretty bad. It can't get much out of it. It could do the stairs. It could go up here. Other than that, that's it. Yeah. You could also place traps near the front as well, but that's just for a flex. So that's pretty much for downtown. There's really not that many cameras, especially in Area 1. Sorry if my guide isn't too helpful in describing certain scenarios, but this is a guide more for trap placements, creature placements, and especially trying to get through Malware Jan, as Malware Jan is still a thing, and it could really hurt you in downtown Area 3 because she has free range of putting her malware from the get-go. She could go look at 31, she could look at 23 from the stairs, she could get you from any corner. So if you're playing downtown creatures or trap, hunt her down. I know if you get a team that's January and Becca, make sure you pinpoint or pin them down. Yes, Valerie can be supportive and put them down, but as long as you take Becca and Jan down, you can hunt Valerie down next, because yes, she can place the thing down. She has like a few seconds, but you're using instant traps, so you can set it off real quick and keep her off. That's pretty much for downtown. I hope you enjoyed this guide. I am making more guides for more maps, as certain maps are pretty ridiculous for certain spawn points, but we're going to talk about that in another video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and have a lovely day. Hope everyone's safe and very, very cautious of your surroundings, of going outside with these people because they're crazy. But other than that, have a wonderful day and take care, okay?
No, you must not leave. See